So happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining another Alignable webinar through the Hutos community group. This is a really fun conversation. Today, we're going to get into search engine optimization and maximizing your impact with Google in 2024. Figured as a timely subject, everyone is thinking about, really making new gains for a new year, right? So let's go ahead and jump right into search engine optimization. Today, we are going to be uncovering essential techniques and tools for enhancing your website. We're going to learn how to build a successful online presence, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of key practices for SEO to really get the most out of your online presence. So today we're going to talk about how to audit your website, SEO tools for improving your strategy, getting started with the Google SEO Essentials and kind of building that foundation of a strong online presence. We're going to talk about why performance and accessibility matter. We're going to kind of, get into a little bit of the nitty gritty about technical SEO versus on-page SEO and really understanding the differences, but also how they're interconnected with each other. We're going to talk about the importance of a Google business profile, especially for local businesses and local service providers. We're also going to get into effective blogging. We're going to talk about EEAT optimization and what does that even mean. We're going to talk about writing content for both relevance and authority. And we're going to have a little bonus subject in here as well. We're going to talk about the buyer's journey and the Google consumer's journey, how that relates to SEO and really getting the most out of the traffic that we are driving to our website from search engines. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and explore how to maximize your online presence for Google. The first big topic that we're going to get into today is how to audit your website. So kind of starting off right here with the basics, really just wanted to break this down for everyone. Google Lighthouse. So if you are not using Google Chrome, I suggest you get it because it comes packed with some really amazing features that can really help you better understand your website and be able to audit your website. So using a tool like Google Lighthouse will give you all these great technical insights and to be able to understand basically how does Google interpret your website. So within the Google Chrome browser, you'll just right click on your website, click inspect, a nice little window is going to come up. You will hit Google Lighthouse, and then you can run the report on your website to understand these kind of like key metrics from Google. It measures your performance, your accessibility, your best practices, and your SEO structure. So when you're able to review the SEO breakdown, you'll get a better idea about any potential issues that your website might have. And what's so amazing about it is that it gives you the recommendations right there so that you understand what you need to fix in order to actually improve your website and really get the most from your online presence again. We all want to be 100%, right? We want to be perfect, but realistically, as long as you are above 90% on all of the key metrics, that's you want to be in the green. That's really all Google asks of us, and that's really when you're starting to get in the right direction. It is really important to remember though that the SEO score within Google Lighthouse is just really a measurement of your SEO structure and kind of like the technical SEO configurations of your website. So if you scan your website and you say, oh, look, I got 100 or I got 95, I must be great. I must be #1 on Google, right? That's not exactly how it works. This is not measuring the content of your website and the effective optimization of your website. It's just letting you know that the technical configurations of your site are basically structured the way that Google wants them to be. And at the same time, you can also gain great insights on performance, accessibility, and best practices, which are all really important, especially to Google. And they do actually have an effect on your success within Google search engine results pages. So if you are fortunate enough to get high up in the ranks, though, let's say you score 100 across the board, Google will even celebrate you with a little light show, which is really nice. But I should definitely let everyone know that this is very hard to achieve, and even the Hutos website is not always 100 across the board. Realistically, we just want to be in the green at all times. So let's advance the conversation here from kind of like that sort of like baseline auditing of our website. Let's talk about some other SEO tools that will empower your strategy. So some really popular SEO tools, there's so many great ones now, it's amazing. But you can, even if you just use one of these tools, realistically, you'll be able to effectively audit your website, have, really solid, reporting and understanding of your website so that you can not only make better enhancements on some of the technical things that Google Lighthouse will bring up to us, but also how to properly optimize your content and the messaging of your website so that you're really, driving relevance and authority, and again, really taking your website to the next level. So, between these tools, but also really like some core key integrations that I want to talk about. Right off the bat, the most important, everyone here in this webinar needs to have Google Search Console and Google Analytics. We want to have these installed on our website so that we're, number one, understanding all of the traffic and metrics of our website so that we can make data-driven decisions and we can, really understand what's going on, where our shortcomings are, and how we need to improve. Especially, having these direct integrations with Google is really important for domain verification and sitemap verification, some more technical things that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Some of these really key tools that are amazing to really help you with your technical and your on-page SEO, Moz.com, SEMrush, which is kind of like everything Moz does, plus a whole bunch of really cool digital marketing stuff for email and social media. It's a little bit more pricey, but fantastic platform. Ahrefs has been around for a very long time and is also a really great tool, kind of like, getting started on your SEO and, really understanding, kind of like first steps really. So between those, also an honorable mention I didn't get to put in here, but SiteChecker.pro is also an amazing tool. Will help you break down a lot of the finite details of your website. So if you're using one of those tools, that will help you kind of go beyond Google Lighthouse to really optimize your content and start taking the right steps in the eyes of Google. Something I wanted to throw in here as kind of a fun little bonus was ChatGPT. So there is a lot of really cool things going on within the sort of SEO AI world. There's even SEO GTP now, which is really cool and, making both professionals like myself, but even people who are just trying to figure out SEO work much more efficiently. And there's a lot of really amazing advancements coming between the world of AI and SEO. But really just if you're not really that technical with ChatGPT and things like that, you're not going to go explore some SEO GPT plugin. At the very least, you can use ChatGPT for helping you work more effectively on writing your titles and your descriptions and your content, taking that information that it's helping you kind of structure and build, and editing it yourself and putting your personal touch onto it. So it's a really effective tool just to kind of help us work more efficiently. Don't fully rely on everything that it's going to give you. You want to just use it for, sort of like, kind of getting appropriate information, helping you make decisions and, and kind of like write some of this content out and then really edit it and make it your own. But it is an amazing tool that I did just want to mention. Kind of turning the subject here to be a little bit more platform specific. If you are, let's say, in WordPress, I'm sure most folks here today are going to be either in WordPress or Wix. If you're in WordPress and you need SEO assistance, tools like Rank Math or Yoast are huge because they will help you configure a lot of the technical SEO configurations that we're talking about here today, but they'll also help you with content optimization and your messaging and your headlines and your descriptions. So I really recommend Rank Math. I talked a lot in my last webinar about Yoast as well. Yoast is a good one for people, business owners who are just kind of getting started themselves. So I definitely recommend that as well. Rank Math will help you take things a little bit further. But yeah, they're both amazing tools to really help you on this front. Also for WordPress, Google Sitekit. Google Sitekit, we were just talking about the importance of Google Search Console and Google Analytics being installed into your site. Through the Google Sitekit plugin, it handles all of this for you. So you install that plugin, you go through the steps to connect to Google, and right away you just checked off a whole bunch of really important stuff right from the back end of your WordPress website. If you're using Wix, you can use the SEO assistant and go into the advanced SEO settings within Wix. I personally love what Wix has been doing with SEO. I'm really optimistic. I think especially for small businesses, Wix is really helping get small businesses out there between being able to manage your Google Business Profile right from your Wix dashboard, the advanced SEO settings to handle a lot of your technical SEO configurations, and then the Wix SEO assistant goes way beyond any other website platform, where you always have this little assistant that's following you around when you're editing your blog posts and your pages, and it's giving you all of the technical and on-page SEO configurations that you need to make. Such an amazing tool. So I just really wanted to highlight those as well today. So let's kind of change the subject here from kind of like the tools and kind of the first steps of auditing your website. Let's get into actually kind of like building the house that is a well-optimized website, right? The foundation of that house, of course, that we always want to start with, a term that I've kind of just coined myself here, is the Google SEO Essentials. So the Google SEO Essentials are literally that foundation that Google wants all of us to have. And there's one or two topics within today that I'm really going to highlight as like, hey, these are the most important aspects of our conversation today. This is one of them, because even if you can't afford to, do the higher level on page and technical SEO and content writing stuff, as long as you have the Google SEO Essentials in place and some of the other little things that I'm going to be talking about today that I'll point out as also being really important, in the eyes of Google, you'll still be in a great place, and you will still get out there and you will drive organic traffic to your website. So the Google SEO Essentials are, basically these initial configurations that I really consider like the backbone of having a high performance website with Google and really expanding your visibility. So, and I do just want to mention here, some of this stuff, even though this is like, kind of like the base level, if it goes over your head, it's totally fine. Don't panic. Some of these things are still a little technical. So if you do need help, I do just want to mention to people that, there's a million great SEO experts, especially on Alignable. So if you're just, some of these initial kind of tasks here, if they're a little technical and you're not sure how to approach them, number one, the tools that we just talked about a second ago will certainly help you. But if you do need professional help, there's a lot of really great professionals, especially on Alignable, who can help you. But again, going right back to the beginning, right? Google Analytics and Search Console have to be installed on your website. Through those integrations, your domain ownership and your sitemap have to be verified with Google as well. Your SEO headline and content structure. This is about having canonical order of your headlines and making sure that the actual written text of the pages of your website are structured the way that Google wants them to be. All of your pages and blog posts having your title, description, and image attributes effectively configured to make sure that we're also meeting Google standards. Again, Yoast, Rank Math, the Wix SEO tool, this is what they're there for, to help you with those things. Some more technical configurations that are really important: schema structure, robots.txt, and XML sitemaps. These are things that help Google understand the structure and sitemap of your website and be able to basically effectively crawl, rank, and index your website. Things like performance optimization and security optimization. We're going to dive into these a lot more in 1 second. With security optimization, I hope everyone here recognizes the importance of having an SSL certificate installed on your website. This is how, when you land on a website, you get that little secured lock icon right in the top. Very important. If you don't have an SSL certificate, that's a huge number one. I can really go on and on about performance and security stuff. So if anyone has any questions about that, we'll talk about it in the Q&A. We are going to have another webinar just about website security that's coming up very soon. And performance optimization, we're going to talk about a lot more in 1 second. It's all about making sure that your site is just loading quickly and giving an ideal user experience. These next ones are really, really important. Having a privacy policy and an accessibility statement in the sitemap of your website, and ideally having them linked in the footer of your website across the entire site. This lets Google know that you are meeting GDPR, CCPA, ADA, and WCAG compliance. Very important. This will get your accessibility score up to 100. Make sure that your website is going to be at a low risk of having an ADA lawsuit, which are really on the rise, and now even small businesses are even being affected by this. Make sure you have a privacy policy and accessibility statement in the sitemap of your website. A step to take that even further is installing an ADA compliance widget. My company is a UserWay partner. Highly recommend UserWay. They have a free widget that's really amazing, or you can get the paid version that really takes your ADA compliance to a whole other level. Same thing for GDPR compliance, especially if you're collecting information from people. I'm sure everyone's been seeing it lately. You land on a website and you have to accept the cookie policy before you can even engage with the website. There's a reason for this, is because we want to meet GDPR compliance. A really great tool that's a free tool for this is called CookieYes. You can go to cookieyes.com, get the widget installed onto your website, and it'll help you with GDPR and CCPA compliance. Having your logo and your preview configured for Google and social networks. We don't want people sharing our website, let's say on Facebook, and the preview is not anything about our website, or it's like a bunch of placeholder content, or it's not our logo. And you want all these things to be consistent across the board so that if someone's sharing you, it's representing your brand and your company the way that it's supposed to. In Wix, if you go through the SEO setup checklist, it'll actually kind of pull this important information from you. It'll take all the data and make this preview for you so that you know it's perfect. And in platforms like WordPress, if you're using Rank Math or Yoast, they also do this upon the official configuration of the plugin. And another huge one that we're going to talk about in just a minute, Google Business Profile. I hope everyone here, knowing the alignable audience being mostly small and medium businesses, has a Google Business Profile. We're going to talk about why that's so important in just a few minutes. So something that I just kind of talked about here a little bit is the performance and accessibility factors. Let's get into why they matter so much. So, when it comes to SEO and really just creating a great user experience, we want our website to load fast, right? And we don't want people sitting there on their phone waiting for it to load forever. So performance and accessibility are all about, letting Google know that your site can be trusted because it's offering that great user experience. We don't want to have poor site speed, because believe it or not, that can actually affect our ranking and how Google interprets our website. And accessibility is really, it's not just a legal compliance standard. Think of it as like a social responsibility, because accessibility is for really including everyone into the conversation, regardless if they have a visual, hearing, mobility, developmental disability, and people of just different means. We just want to make sure that our website is accessible and able to be engaged with by all audiences. So again, using Google Lighthouse to monitor your performance and accessibility ratings, I really recommend all business owners that are just doing this regularly. Make it like a once a month thing if you can. It's really important just to know that you're up to date on that and you understand how Google is interpreting your website. Integrating with a CDN like Cloudflare is really going to help your website get ideal performance. If you're with a platform like Wix, they already kind of have a CDN built in, but for WordPress, if you're on a hosting plan like GoDaddy or something like that, you probably are not integrated with a CDN, and that also is a pretty straightforward process to get set up. A web professional can certainly help you with it as well, but it will really make the difference when it comes to website accessibility. Follow Google Lighthouse's suggestions for making local improvements to your website that are going to help with speed. Things like installing a page cache tool, image optimization, some more technical things here, Minify, CSS and JS, Defer.js. These are things that a professional can help you with. For us, it's something that doesn't take a lot of time. So ideally find someone who can do it for you for not like a big investment or anything, but these things will make your website load lightning fast and really get your performance score, up into that, over 90, close to 100%. Again, for the accessibility conversation, installing UserWay, CookieYes, and just making sure that you're meeting these compliance standards. Again, so important. I talk about these in every webinar that I do, and then business owners, come to me and we have a conversation and they say, oh yeah, I took care of it. And I'm like, well, there's still some work there to do. Installing these widgets, will really streamline things for you and really, help you avoid any issues. And again, the privacy policy and accessibility statement, doing that really helps, take your website all the way to that 100. And people act like getting an accessibility statement or an accessibility score, up to a perfect 100 with Google is difficult, but it's really not. And these are the steps right here to do it. So that kind of, breaks down a lot of like the technical conversation of search engine optimization. But I do want to have a conversation here because people think of SEO as like, their content and their messaging and things like that, right? So before we dive into that, let's talk about technical SEO versus on-page SEO, and kind of let's have a conversation here about how they're connected, but also how they're very different. So technical SEO is, again, really focusing on the structure, the code standards, and the compliance standards of your website, while on-page SEO is really about optimizing your content, your messaging, and the page elements. So for technical SEO, the things we just talked about: performance, accessibility, best practices, your SEO structure, your sitemaps, code standards, making sure that your images and elements are optimized so that your website's going to load fast. And some of that more technical stuff, structured data and schema, these are things, again, that those tools that we talked about at the beginning will help you with. The more sort of, writing focused and messaging focused side of SEO is your on-page SEO. This comes down to, really, looking at your keywords, your focused phrases, targeting your local and business specific and geographic areas, writing content within your pages so that you are, making sure that you're relevant to certain locations based on where you are, geographic areas that you specifically want to target, or just talking about topics that are relevant to your business. When it comes to the on-page SEO conversation, we can go so deep with this, but really, the thing I really want to harp on for everyone here is that all SEO has to start local. That's the number one thing to remember, especially for small and local service providers. Always start local, business specific, and think about your geographic targeting. It's very important. Don't think you're going to just be a national business with SEO overnight. It doesn't work that way. You start local and you build. So, for a lot of the technical SEO things, if anyone has any questions about labeling or follow, no follow, image compressions and modern formats, or any of the structured data stuff, I'm happy to answer that in the Q&A. And we're going to talk a little bit more about sort of the content writing conversation in just a minute, and how to really get the most of like that local and business specific targeting. Before we do that, really focusing on local, building sort of that local presence and then building up, we have to talk about the importance of a Google Business Profile. So when it comes to everything else that we talked about today, I know I said the Google SEO Essentials is kind of like the first big one that's the most important. Google Business Profile is the other one that everyone here, I hope you have one and really understand the importance of. Cannot state it enough. This is going to be the game changer for most businesses. And it's not just about having one, it's about effectively managing and building one. So, especially for local and local businesses and small businesses, the Google Business Profile is the absolute game changer. It's who it's really meant for, and it's how you're going to gain sort of like that local, geographic, and business specific relevance. So just a couple things here. Number one, you can do it directly from Google, business.google.com. But if you're on a platform like Wix, you can do it right from your Wix dashboard, which is amazing. But you want to keep your Google Business Profile up to date and completely filled out. So if you go to your Google Business Profile and you see the little ring and it's showing red or yellow, we don't want that. We want green, where it says your profile is strong. That's a huge number one. I see it almost every single day with businesses that sign up with my company. Please make sure it's completely filled out and accurate to your information. The service areas, again, going back to all SEO starts local, right? The service areas are there so that you can tell Google where you're trying to target. Where is your business relevant? That is a huge first step to make sure that your business is, just in the game, right? The more advanced features on the Google Business Profile, listing your products, your services, and the messages feature especially. So many businesses don't even realize you can do this. You turn on the messages feature and you give people the ability right from search engine results pages that they can just click one button and get in touch with you. And you get a message directly sent to your email or even directly to your phone. I mean, why would you not want to have this? It's immediately bringing leads from search engine result pages directly to your business. Huge feature, and so many businesses aren't even aware of it. A huge factor with Google, and the reason why they even developed the Google Business Profile in the first place, is reviews. Get reviews on your Google Business Profile. Figure out a way to work it into your buyer's journey or your customer journey, where once someone is been with you for a while, they're a happy customer, have an automated email or just reach out personally and say, hey, we would really appreciate it if you can leave a review for us on Google. When people are first, especially for small businesses and local service providers, when they're first looking for a business within let's say Westford, Massachusetts, they're saying okay, let me go through what came up here on Google. If you have a couple of lousy reviews or no reviews at all versus your competitor who has 100 reviews and they look great and their Google Business Profile has all this amazing information, who do you think they're going to call? You really want to drive reviews and have an accurate profile that's up to date. It's such a difference maker and will really drive more business for you. Another huge aspect that so many business owners don't realize is available, and I want to like change everyone's thought process when it comes to this. Think of the Google Business Profile like it's another social network. Think of it just like it's a Facebook page or LinkedIn or whatever. The updates feature is basically like a little social network feed or like a mini blog right on Google. And you can take your blog post from your website or post from your social media, and you can use that updates feature. Do it every day. Do it once a month. Do it as often as you can. The more activity, the better, because Google will trust you more. And the more that you are using that updates feature, those updates, they show in relevant searches. So it's expanding your reach and potentially getting more people to interact with your Google Business Profile and then to jump into your website or just contact you. So it's a huge feature that I think if more business owners thought of it like it's a social network, they would engage with it more. They would realize the importance of it. And in my book, the way it goes is like Google Business Profile, then social media and email marketing and everything else, because it's literally that important, especially for small businesses and local service providers. Again, of all the other SEO efforts we're talking about today, Google SEO Essentials and especially the Google Business Profile, game changers and are the biggest ones in this conversation about expanding your reach and having a powerful online presence. I did want to throw some additional topics into this conversation just to kind of really help everyone understand effective ways to kind of expand your reach. So let's talk about effective blogging, EEAT optimization, and topic authority. This kind of goes back to the on-page SEO and how to write effective content and how to really gain relevancy over time. For me, I mean, yeah, we want to have all of our pillar pages and the service pages of our website, our about page. We want to effectively tell our story. We want the titles and descriptions in the pages of our website to be targeted and make sure that they're relevant to our local or geographic or business specific targeting. But really, the power of blogs is so underestimated. Most of the progress that you're going to make in driving organic traffic to your website is going to come from blogs and landing pages. So I say this all the time: your blog is your secret weapon, and do not underestimate the impact that a single blog post can have with Google. So if you're blogging consistently on topics that relate to your local, geographic, or business specific, your services, over time, you're going to be driving relevance and really become an authority with Google to really to really rise in the ranks. I know that a lot of people download this presentation from the website, from Alignable and LinkedIn afterwards. So that's why this is more of a paragraph here for everyone to read. So let me just break it down a little bit here. So Google's acronym for this is EEAT. It's your experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So this is basically like an interpretation of how Google kind of like understands your website and the content of your website. So the more that you're blogging about your services and you're putting into the mix of those stories your personal experiences within your industry, you're showcasing your expertise with all the services that you provide, and you're doing it in a way that you're answering questions and you're being you're kind of like just giving people a helpful insight. the more that you're doing that, you're driving up your EEAT optimization, and that's also going to help your website rise in the ranks. And blogs, blogs are not like part of your main navigation. They're over in your blog feed, right? But that's actually better, because what that does is Google, kind of like is bringing them in, directly to that blog post. And as long as the rest of your website is structured correctly, which we're going to talk about in a minute, they're gonna go into your website from that blog post anyway. Especially if from the jump that blog post, was kind of like answering their question or just giving them helpful information. Um, so the more that you do this and you're increasing your topic authority, you're blogging on those topics that are relevant to your service and to your business and your location. That's how you're going to become, a real authority and a real leader within your industry. You're going to be engaging your audience, and while you're doing all of that, Google's watching and they're going, oh, okay, this is a website that we can trust. They're clearly an authority within their industry and within their business, within their business community. So, we will continue to push them up. The more that you're doing this now, especially in light of Google's new generative AI experience, let's say someone goes to Google and says, hey, Google, I have a plumbing issue. I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and I have this plumbing issue. They're going to, they're going to give you this automated generative AI response. If your website has been blogging on that topic that they're searching for a while, you have this topic relevance and authority, you will actually become that generative AI response that Google gives to the person. And then Google's going to say, hey, do you want to know more information about this? And then they're going to drive you they're going to drive them right to that blog post. So, again, it's so huge to really, think about the power that blogs can have for driving relevance and, really becoming an authority. And if you're doing all of this with the Google SEO Essentials all in place, and you're making sure that your blogs are meeting, those little technical SEO configurations we talked about in the beginning, those blogs are going to get out there and they're going to drive more organic traffic to your website. So important, so huge. Another kind of topic I just wanted to throw in here, because I alluded to it a little bit there with the blogging conversation, is understanding the buyer's journey, or really, as Google calls it, the consumer journey. The buyer's journey is, it's kind of more of like a marketing topic. But I did want to include this in the SEO conversation because I feel like, it's really about getting the most from the traffic that we receive from Google. And the truth is Google wants to see websites and blogs, structured in this way, where you're answering questions and you're giving people insightful information. You're not just writing a blog post. We're all guilty of this. We write a blog post, it's kind of like a big sales pitch, right? And, hey, we're awesome because of all these things. That's not really what blog posts should be doing. Blog posts should be, answering questions that people are, asking within your business, within your industry or within your location. So, it's important to kind of recognize that as step one. So the 3-step process, as we call it within the buyer's journey, is awareness, consideration, and action. That first awareness stage is people going to Google and saying, hey, I'm interested in this thing, or I'm looking into this thing. Can you just give me some information about that? They ask a specific question. Your blog post should just be answering that question, not selling your company while you're the end all be all, just giving them helpful information. But from that blog post, you're giving them a call to action where they can go from that blog post into a pillar page or a service page of your website, where now they're getting more information about your company. And they're also, maybe you're able to capture that lead as well. Ultimately, from the blog post or the landing page as the awareness, your pillar page or your service page as the consideration, you're driving them ultimately to the 3rd step, which is the desired action of your business, where they're booking a consultation, they're making a purchase, or they're signing up for something. And if you can structure your website in this way, not only are you creating a more conversion-focused website, but you're also kind of giving Google what they expect from your website, which ultimately, if you're doing that effectively through your blogs and landing pages, they're going to drive more organic traffic to you, and then you're going to be getting more from that traffic because you've kind of set up this structure of your website to really make a nice conversion-focused user experience. So with all that said, let's just talk about some reminders and recaps here. So everyone will be able to download this complete presentation at the end. I know there's a lot written in here, and I'm kind of just talking about the whole thing here as I'm going through it. But just a little recap here. Audit your website with Google Lighthouse. Use the SEO tools that we talked about, like Moz, for your technical and on-page SEO advancements. Within WordPress, you can use Rank Math or Yoast to work on actually implementing the technical SEO and your content messaging. Within Wix, you have the Wix SEO setup checklist, and then the SEO assistant, also really amazing tools. For high performance and accessibility, it can't be stated enough how important this are. You need to make sure that your website is optimized. You're not uploading huge images or anything like that. All the elements of your website are optimized so that you are loading fast, giving people a great user experience that's also secure, and you're meeting all of those accessibility requirements. And remember, things like ADA are a legal compliance standard. Manage your Google business profile and updates as much as you can. Use that updates feature. Think of it like a social network that you want to keep engagement up and really show people that you're active and that you're offering something special to them. In that same vein, effective blogging and just driving topic authority and relevance within your local, geographic, or business specific topics. You really want to be a topic authority, so don't underestimate the blog. Try to blog as much as you can and get it out there. And then through your blogs and your landing pages, just think about the consumer journey, as Google likes to call it, and think about getting the most from the traffic that you receive. If you're a nerd like me and you read the Google Think blog, you can go over there. They have an entire category that's all about the consumer journey. Really huge for everyone to check that out. So if I can just self-promote here for a second, if you do need help with any of these SEO topics, I hope that you will check out Hoot SEO. It is our premium ongoing search engine optimization package where we handle all of your Google SEO essentials. We manage your Google business profile for you. We do all of your technical and higher level on-page SEO. We handle your content writing optimization for all the pages and posts of your website. We write 4 blog posts per month, completely done for you. And then we structure the entire website from your blog posts and landing pages for that conversion and buyer's journey to really get the most out of your website and make it a lead generation focused online presence. And for folks that do this as well, we do this for a number of businesses. We also, if you're running Google Ads or ads on social media like Facebook, we will manage your paid advertising for you as well to make sure that all of your marketing efforts online are consistent. And we do all of this with monthly reporting and regular strategy meetings so that we're setting KPIs and measuring performance and planning for future months. So, we put together a really special plan that is very different than any other SEO plan you're going to find out there. So with all of that said, I know we just unpacked a lot of information, so I will gladly take any questions if anyone has any. Please just put them in the chat. There's still a lot of folks in here, so I try to just avoid from everyone talking over each other. But these are also conversations that we have every day in the Hoot Host community group. So I really hope everyone will join the Hoot Host community group, and if you can take a minute and leave us a review, we really appreciate that as well.